2.175 million private jet that makes billionaire travel look almost normal. Have you ever looked at a private jet and thought, that's ridiculous, it's obscene, it's so far beyond normal life, it may as well be a spaceship? Well, this is different, because this one's almost worse. This is the Cirrus Vision Jet G2, a private jet currently listed in Germany for $2.175 million. And what makes it so fascinating isn't that it's the biggest jet in the world, but that it's small enough, sleek enough and clever enough to make private jet ownership look almost sensible. This isn't a billionaire's flying palace. This is the billionaire's runabout. This is the billionaire's Citroën, the billionaire's daily driver, the billionaire's version of saying, I'm not being extravagant, I'm taking the little jet. And that's what makes it so outrageous, because while the rest of us are worrying about petrol prices, train fares, airport queues, excess baggage, and whether the budget airline's going to measure our cabin case with a tape measure from hell, someone else is looking at a machine like this and thinking, yes, that'll do for a weekend in Nice. Now, the aircraft in this listing is a 2019 Cirrus Vision Jet SF50 G2. It has 865 hours total time, one Williams FJ33-5A engine, Garmin avionics, enhanced vision, auto throttle, SATCOM, a cabin entertainment display, air conditioning, oxygen, and even the famous CAPS whole aircraft parachute system. Yep, that's right. This is a jet with a parachute. Not a parachute for you, not a parachute for your passengers, a parachute for the entire aircraft. That alone tells you what Cirrus was trying to do here. They were trying to build a jet that feels less like a traditional business aircraft and more like the next step up from a very expensive luxury car or a high-end piston aircraft. Cirrus literally markets the Vision Jet as the world's first single-engine personal jet. And that phrase matters because business jet sounds corporate. It sounds like accountants, executives, and charter schedules. Personal jet sounds like something else entirely. It sounds like freedom. It sounds like status. It sounds like escape. It sounds like wealth without friction. And that's the dream being sold here. It's not just transport. This is a machine built to make a wealthy owner feel that the world is now operating on their timetable. According to Cirrus, the Vision Jet family today can offer up to 1,275 nautical miles of range, 317 knots cruise speed, and a 31,000 foot ceiling with cabin flexibility for up to 7 passengers in the latest version. Now, this exact aircraft is a 2019 G2. It's not the very latest version, so some of those headline numbers relate to the current model family rather than this exact jet, but the point stands. The thing is fast, pressurized, luxurious and compact enough to make private aviation look unusually approachable. That's the genius of Cirrus. They didn't just build a jet, they built a jet for people who wanted to graduate into jet ownership without stepping into the full corporate aviation universe. And when the G2 arrived in 2019, Cirrus said it brought higher altitude, greater speed and range, a more advanced Garmin flight deck, and a category first auto throttle. So this wasn't some gimmick, it was a serious attempt to redefine what a private jet could be. Smaller, simpler, less intimidating, still wildly expensive, obviously, but packaged in a way that whispers, you could actually use this. And that's where the fantasy gets dangerous, because people don't dream equally about all luxury items. A 200-foot yacht is too far gone. A palace in Monaco, too absurd. A Boeing business jet is too disconnected from reality. This sits in that zone where the mind starts to rationalize it. You can imagine the mission. Leave when you want, land closer to where you need to be, skip the airport chaos, bring your partner, your kids, your friends, your golf clubs, sit in a pressurised leather cabin with giant windows and tell yourself it's not indulgence, it's efficiency. That's the trick. Luxury is always easier to justify when you can point out the practicality, and that's the Vision Jet. Cirrus talks about single engine simplicity, lower complexity, easier operation, and an ownership experience wrapped around training, maintenance support, and engine coverage. In other words, this is the private jet that tries to calm your nerves, while also emptying your bank account of $2 million. Then of course there's a status angle, because make no mistake, even though this is called the personal jet, there's nothing remotely ordinary about turning up in one. This is still a machine worth over $2 million on the used market. That's dream home money. It's generational money for most families. That's the sort of money many people would never see in one place in their entire lives. And yet in private aviation terms, the Vision Jet has built its reputation partly by being the entry point. It's hilarious really. Only in the world of extreme wealth can a 2.175 million jet be the supposedly sensible option. Cirrus clearly judged the market perfectly, because the Vision Jet has become a genuine commercial success. Cirrus said in 2026 that the Vision Jet was the best-selling jet in general aviation for 8 years in a row, with 106 deliveries in 2025 alone. So it's not some little weird aviation footnote. This is a real status object, a real transport tool, a real luxury product. And for a certain class of buyer, it's probably one of the most beautiful flying machines ever made. It doesn't scream old money aviation. It whispers modern wealth. .com billionaire, Bitcoin millionaire. It says the owner doesn't just have money, it says they've got control of time, control of schedule, control of inconvenience, control of distance. And that in the end is what the ultra rich are really buying. Not just speed, not just comfort, not just leather seats and avionics screens and polished paint. They're buying the ability to remove friction and aggravation from their life. The rest of us queue, they get in the jet and away they go. The rest of us pay for priority boarding and they just turn up at the airport, get in the jet and hasta la vista baby. We wait for boarding groups, they choose when the day starts. We dream about a seat upgrade, they're buying an aircraft. And that's why this little Cirrus is such a brilliant subject for my new channel, Billionaire Dreams, Pensioners Means. It captures the whole thing perfectly. It's not the most outrageous private jet in the world. It's one that makes outrageous wealth look almost normal. And that may be the most powerful fantasy of all. In summary, it's a 2019 Cirrus Vision Jet SF50 G2. It's $2.175 million. Why do I do this to myself? It's in Donaueschingen, Germany. It's done 865 hours. The engine is a Williams FJ33-5A. The equipment includes Garmin Perspective Touch Plus, auto throttle, enhanced vision, CAPS parachute, SATCOM, 22-inch cabin display, air conditioning, life raft, Bose headsets. This is advertised on James Edition, so I'll leave a link to it. But in the next video, I'm going to look and see what other Cirrus jets are available on the used market, and let's have a look at the new ones too. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.